Welcome to Making It Happen TV, where we're here to inspire and encourage you to pursue your gifts and talents. Hi, welcome again to Making It Happen. You know, this is going to be a great show today. We've got one of my favorite people, Hester from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And I say he's one of my favorite people because he's got such a sweet spirit. You know, don't you love being around people that, are happy all the time? That, every time you meet them, that they're going to have a cheerful word to say to you, or they're going to make you laugh instead of cry. Don't you hate to be around people that are just kind of bring you down? You want to walk the other way. Well, Hester, you're going to love, and especially when you hear him open up his mouth and start singing, you're going to really enjoy it. But it reminded me, because he's got a song that he's going to sing, and it's called Put a Ring on It. And I got to thinking about relationships. We all are in relationships of some kind in our lives. And I found out not too long ago that there's some relationships that are just for a season. Some people are coming to our life and they're not going to be there forever. Some people are there for the long term until you go home to be with the Lord, right? But if they're there for a season, it's not like it's bad. It's just a season. So you have to learn how to let it go and then go on with what other parts of your life need to be acted out in a relationship. Because God's put us, a relationship with God is our most important part. But what about all the relationships we have with our children or our friends or acquaintances? Those are all important relationships. But what's really cool about this song that Chris is going to sing here for us in a little bit is he put some finishing touches on one part of this song that I really love. I won't give it away, but when we get back from a commercial break, we're going to have a short interview with Hester, and then you'll get to hear what I'm talking about. Put a ring on it. So we'll be right back. You guys stay tuned.
My new YouTube video, Chapter 2, My Retired Life. We made low-carb, low-calorie shepherd's pie. It was delicious. You won't miss the carbs. We also made buns in the air fryer. Hope you check it out.
Welcome back. Of course, we have Hester here with us that I've been talking about for the last few minutes. It's so good to have you back, Chris. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be back with you.
I enjoyed it so much the last time you were here that I just had to come you back because you got so many songs on here, and now you told me that you're getting ready to do another.
Yeah, we'll start working on another album this fall. So.
Okay. Now, I told you the other day that I have played this CD that I've got at home until it's almost worn out. So he brought me another one. And this is when was this one actually
the debut
done?
project. The debut project came out, and we actually cut that in 2004, but we didn't get it finished up till 2005, I think.
Okay.
So.
I had said when you were here the last time that I'd heard a lot about you. You're on the radio all over Oklahoma, aren't you? And then you go to Nashville all the time. And
yeah, working there some. This last year has been the last few months actually has been one of those areas of my life where I've kind of taken the focus off of my own my stuff that I was doing for myself, and have found some other artists and have tried to kind of help them along.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I just recently produced a project for a group actually out of Oklahoma called Pemberton and Langley, and they're a phenomenal group, just a phenomenal group, and we're looking forward to that project. Will be out April the 1st. So yeah.
Well, now, and they're here. Where do they?
They're down around the Oklahoma City area, Ardmore area.
I mean, that's a great name. Is that two guys' names?
Pemberton and Langley. Yeah, it's a husband and wife team.
Oh.
And a third guy that's with them. He's plays keyboard for them, and just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful group of people. They just, they're the type of group. I had heard their music actually on the radio, and I was called down to do a benefit singing for a radio station in southern Oklahoma, and I had heard a song on the air that had touched me so much from this other artist, and I was there at the benefit, and I remember coming forward to the stage, and they were doing a sound check, and And the gentleman reached down and shook my hand and said, "Hi, I'm John Pemberton." And I said, "Mr. Pemberton, nice to meet you." And turned around. I was talking to the sound tech, and they were doing this little sound check. And I heard in the background that song that I had heard on the radio just a few days before that had touched me so much.
Right.
Driving down the road. Victoria, I listen to Christian music pretty much all the time. I listen to a lot of different varieties of music,
Right.
but I kind of think trash in, trash out,
Yeah, right.
And I think God's people, it's good for them to tune into Christian radio and feed our spirits with,
Oh,
with that
absolutely.
positive type of
It
music.
makes a big difference.
It really does. And I had done that this particular day. I had a rough day, and I remember cranking the radio up, and I heard this song, and shortly I heard it playing behind me on the stage, and I realized that the gentleman who I just shook hands with was the songwriter and the group that I'd heard on the air.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, after the benefit was over, he came to me and said, "We would love to put together a brand new CD." He said, "I've wrote 8 or 9 brand new songs," and he said, I love what I've heard off of your disc, and would you be willing to go to Tennessee with me and,
Oh, my
and help me?"
goodness.
So yeah, it's been a really a big blessing for
So
me.
you're helping other people make it
Sure,
happen.
you bet.
Yeah.
You bet. That's what it's about, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I with interviewing different people all over, Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
I found that people that aren't concerned about themselves or
Right.
how much they're going to be exalted,
Right.
are quick and easy to
Yes.
go and help somebody else.
Well, I think a lot of times it's easy, even being a child of God, to lose the perspective of why we're here. I mean, we get so caught up in, in the posters and
Right.
the CDs and the
Right.
different things that the industry, if we may use
Right.
that term, and we forget what the Great Commission really is, which is to go and tell everyone about what God's done and encourage those that may be looking and feeling the call into ministry to come on, get involved
Right. Right.
in the ministry.
Well, you've got some great songs, and I want to give our viewing audience plenty of songs coming from your heart today. And I know you're up for a Dove Award,
We
right?
are, yeah.
And so we'll talk about that real quick. But let's take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll listen to Chris Hester. I want you to hear "Put a Ring on It." So we'll be right back.
He came home with stars in his eyes, called his dad in Oklahoma, and talked her up all night. He said, "Dad, I think this girl's the one." But how will I know if it's true love? He said, "Son, it's not rocket science. It's all about emotion. Just keep your eyes wide open and you'll know. If her heart is beating just for you, then take it. If her arms are open and you feel the love, then make it. If her hand fits yours like a glove, then gently lift it up, put a ring on it." At 10 a.m. he makes another call to the girl that's got him thinking, "This time I found it all." He says, "Can we meet for lunch at noon?" And she says, "Sure." I'd love to. Later on in a country church, he places on her finger a golden band that says forever yours. If her heart is beating just for you, then take it. If her arms are open and you feel the love, then take it. If her hand fits yours like a glove, gently lift it up, put a ring on it. Oh, love lives right before our eyes. If we just look for those little signs. If her heart is beating just for you, then take it. If her arms are open and you feel the love, then make it. If her hand fits yours like a glove, gently lift it up, put a ring on it. Oh, put a ring on it. Here's a song off my debut project called It's a Good Life. You may wonder why I wear a smile when the world is crashing down on me. I confess he's made my life worthwhile since he came into my heart and set me free. It's a good, good life. I am counting it all joy. I am here to testify that it's a good, good life. I am running the race. I am fighting the fight. It's a good life. If I am never blessed with earthly treasures, I know that He will meet my every need. I've been blessed with riches beyond measure through the mercy, grace, and love He's given me. It's a good, good life. I am counting it all joy. I am here to testify. It's a good, good life. I am running the race. I am fighting the fight. It's a good life. And I'm here to testify. It's a good, good life. I am running the race. I am living a good life. It's a good life. It's a good life. Oh, yes, it's a good life. There's nothing greater than the call that the Lord has placed on my life. I'm so glad that He's called me into His service. Listen to the words of this song that Big Mo Ostrander penned about 20 years ago. My name lights on a marquee. The world may not applaud when I sing, but if I can be a light to just one friend in the night, that's all that I desire to be. So remind me, Lord, you've called me. Sometimes I may be weary, but if one soul is changed, it's worth it all. When I see teardrops falling, Lord, remind me of my calling, and may I never run from the call. Just a child, I knew right from the why you wanted me to sing, Lord, just for you. Just for you. I can count the miles. Sometimes I get so tired, but after all you've done, it's the least that I can do. So remind me, Lord, you called me. Sometimes I may be weary, but if one soul is changed, it's worth it all. When I see those teardrops falling, Lord, remind me of my calling, and may I never run from the call. For the world out there is dying, it's full of lonely people crying. You've chosen me to tell them about you, about you. So remind me, Lord, you called me. Sometimes I may be weary, but if one soul is changed, it's worth it all. When I see those teardrops fall, Lord, remind me of my call, and may I never run from the call. Lord, I don't know much, but I sure hear your call.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Chris. That was fantastic. And, I've got to make a comment about this last song that he sang, The Call. There's sometimes that people don't want to do what it takes when God's placed a call in your life, and it's not going to be easy. I can testify that it's not always easy, but it's the best and most rewarding thing you'll ever undertake to do if you really step out and do what God's called you to do. You want to, real quick, tell us your website again. Tell us anything that's coming up real quick.
It's very simple. It's www.chrishester.com.
Okay.
And I'm online 24/7, so check it out.
And he's a phenomenal singer and a great person. So you all stay tuned for next week. We've got another great person coming. You don't want to miss it. I won't tell you who it is right now. Thanks again for coming, Chris. We'll probably have Chris back again because he's one of my favorites. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.
I'm Michael Clark. I'm 23 years old, and right now I know what you're thinking. Why am I so confused? Why am I so unstable? Why do I not even know what I want to do with my life? Don't worry, you're going to get there. But for the here and now, the word of the day is reconstruct. Build yourself through and through, all right? Victoria Lee, she's already been through all this. If you've read her book, you will believe her when she says, if I can, you can. So for a life-changing experience, please contact the information below.
People that haven't been in abusive situations, they think, what is wrong with you? Can't you just get over it? But you can't get over it unless somebody tells you how. The sad part of it is that so many people end up in these abusive situations, and you wonder why there's so much depression. Why is there so much suicide? Why is there so much alcoholism? Why is there so much drug addiction? There's something causing all of that.
Yes, it is.
There's something inside of you that's hurting. And you need to understand why you're hurting. But I was still a child inside. Because, you know, when it's almost like you get stuck in a period emotionally, and you can't go anywhere with it. So I got to the point where suicide was on my mind constantly. You know, how can I get out of this? How can I just stop the pain? It was almost like I had an open wound that I couldn't get to heal.
Sometimes in early childhood, whether it's intentional or unintentional, we develop images of ourselves because of the way that we were treated, whether we were neglected, whether there were any sexual, physical, or emotional abuse that occurred in our lives at that time. You might be asking yourself, are you one of those people, 1 out of 4 the statistics tell us today? Do you struggle with anger, anxiety, fear of any kind? Do you struggle with having poor relationships continually? Have you struggled with drug addiction, alcoholism, maybe spousal abuse? Do you find yourself changing jobs continually, or maybe even repeating one divorce after the other? Do you find yourself in an area of your life and wonder why it just doesn't get better? Then maybe you are the 1 out of 4. I am so tired of society acting like everything is okay, and yet we have hurting people all around us that don't know how to be successful in their lives, and yet they're ridiculed, and people are telling them, can't you just get over it? I know something happened to you when you were a child, but just let it go. But when you're damaged at the very core of your being, it's not easy to let it go. Your whole makeup, who you are, has been changed, and you don't know how to fix it. If a firm foundation has never been established in your life because of neglect or the other issues that I mentioned before, then you've already begun with the shaky ground. And with shaky ground, how do you ever get that real footing that you need, that you see in other people's lives that are successful? You begin to ask yourself, who am I? And what am I here for? What am I meant to do? What is life all about? If you don't have those answers, then your life will be like a guessing game. You'll continually want to know what to do, but you make all the wrong decisions. But if you don't know what good really looks like, how are you going to know how to make the right choices? Only when a person feels loved and secure are they able to make the right decisions. You know, this is not about blame. We're not blaming parents or caregivers that raised us, because they most likely did all that they could do, the best that they knew how, because of the information that was fed into them. So it's not about blame, but it's about how to recover, how to restore our self-image so that we can have a life that's worth living. What is it about you that needs to be changed? You know, I thought for years that I was never quite good enough. I didn't have the right education. I didn't have the right upbringing. I went through a lot of abusive situations that made me think less and less of myself. And you know, I then found out that there was something inside of me that was bigger than I was. That there was something inside of me that wanted to cause me to pursue something greater than what I already had. That made me want to go for something better in my life. That made me want to get rid of circumstances and people in my life that seemed to be dragging me down. They caused me to feel less and less of the kind of person that I really was. I used to think that I was horribly selfish, that I had no talents, that I was really going nowhere. Tell you the truth, when I was slinging hash at a little truck stop one time, I thought that's
the only place I'm going to be going. But you know what? As soon as I began to experience some other levels in my life, as soon as I began to see that no, I'm more than that. I'm more than what people tell me that I am. I want to be something. I want to make a mark in this world more than what I have right now. Well, now as you look at me, I've written 8 books. I've had my own television show. I've written so many things that have encouraged and inspired others. And that's what we're doing here today, is in encouraging and inspiring you to throw off those baggages that have held you back, to step forward, begin to have confidence in who you are, because all of us have a plan and a purpose in our lives. Some of us don't know what that is yet. So I'm asking you, don't be afraid. Step forward. Become the real you, not the fake you, not the pretend you, not the I wish that I had you. Step forward. Become who God has created you to be.